Councillor Perkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask a question, if I could, first, please, of Dr. Druin. I believe there is a bank of money that is administered by our Social Services Housing Division that assists residents who have an inability to pay their heating bill, for example, and are in a difficult situation, especially this time of the year. I'd like to understand what that program is and whether or not, as councillors, we would be able to take any increase amount that was offered through this process and donate it to that bank. Is that a possibility, and can we have some understanding of what it is?
I think it's more a Mr. Clapp question, but councillors
whichever one can answer it.
Councillors can donate it back to the municipality, can they not?
No, no. I'm asking for a specific program.
To a specific program in a municipality?
Well, if it's a donation back to the municipality, I'm not sure that's something that has ever been undertaken, put it that way. I'm not sure whether it would qualify.
Well, I know councillors in Oshawa do it. Some do. So.
Well, the reason I'm asking is I think that one way, if just another question, if we were to say, don't give us the money, right? And so we don't get anything. It just goes into the general revenue of the region of Durham to be dispersed in some other fashion. But if we were to say, okay, we would take the money and we would donate it just to a program, just to help those that need it, so that the money doesn't become part of general revenue, and it is going specifically to the area that we wish it to go to. Is that possible? Because that would make sense to me if I could do it that way. It doesn't make sense to dump it right back into general revenue.
You could. I know you can donate it back to the municipality, but if there was a organization in social services that dealt with specifically breakfast for kids or whatever, whatever program you wanted, and you wanted to donate personally to that program, I'm sure there's a group that would accept that money with a taxable receipt. Is that not correct, Mr. Durham?
Certainly, if it's a community agency with its own board of directors and they're operating as a separate entity, certainly they'll welcome donations from anyone.
And in Councillor Perkins' question, we deal with some of those organizations through our...
We do.
So.
And do they provide anything for example, seniors with heating issues in their homes? I think there is a program.
They do. Community Development Council of Durham, for instance, would provide that, and they would be able to accept donations.
If we take the money, we can donate it through Community Development Council to that program.
Yep.
And we can have that. Okay, thank you very much. Then I'd be happy to do that.
Councillor Henry?
Thank you, Chair. First of all, it's just a question through you to the clerk, and my recollection of the remuneration bylaw says that members of council do not have the ability to choose to take a reduction. And if I could just get the clerk to clarify that.
There's no specific in your bylaw to say you cannot choose. Is that your question?
So what I'm saying is if a member of council specifically decided to take less, they could do that.
They could.
Yeah. To speak to the issue of reducing councillor salaries is not due. Councillor Mitchell and I brought it forward in the last term of council. You always have the option of taking less. That's something that you can do on your own. It is a decision. My hope today was by referring it to the budget, we could have had the discussion that this item deserves to take the time to have it instead of having it on the council floor. We were there, and when we did this in 2010, it wasn't well received. And the issue of workforce planning was brought up, or job rationalization was brought up in planning this year and was sent forward, and along with the supporting documents to put a plan in place, because we've done that in Oshawa about workforce planning, and that is about that's what makes the floor not quite the place to do it, but the committee areas of our council is where this debate should be taking place. So I just wanted to say that I would have really liked to have seen the referral because it deserves more merit to have the big discussion than on the council floor right now.